Oliveira has changed his mindset, changed his style to a point, because he was never a guy that marched guys down. He would move. He would, give a lot of ladder. Now he's just marching guys. Dude, he's marching guys like Dustin Poirier down. And Dustin was lighting him up at times with that left hand straight down the pipe. I mean, he hurt him with big shots. The right hook blasted and put him on his butt. And he just kept getting back into it and coming back. And you think, oh, he's in trouble. No, he's not. Man, he just shows he's got fucking heart for days now. He's in that mindset. And this is, we talk about it all the time. Confidence. Confidence is key. And when you've got the confidence that Charles Oliveira has now as the champion, he's got that, you know what? You can hit me. It's okay. Hitting me is not the end of the world. It's me allowing you to break me, and that will never happen. I'm never allowing that to happen. And he is at that point now. Man, he is just on fire because, come on, Josh, man, he fucking put it on Dustin. Did. After the first round, I thought Dustin won the first round. No doubt about it. He got the first round. But the second round came out. That was a beautiful job of taking it down. And it was the effort that he put into the ground and pound. All right. There was a lot of effort because Dustin's holding on tight. And he is creating space and landing good elbows. All of that takes effort. And I know Dustin's corner was saying, we want him to work harder.
Yeah.
He was working. He was working hard. And he was doing damage and he was doing good. Everything from that point of the ending of that first round, it was all Charles Oliveira, man. He set the tone. He came out saying, I will not be denied, and he wasn't.
Yeah, you run into, like for me, he has a little bit of the equalizer, Charles does, because when he got dropped, Dustin was like, I don't really want to jump into your guard. I really don't want to go I don't want to go down to the ground with you. And that's an equalizer. Anytime he was given a split second here and there to recover because Dustin was second guessing whether he wanted to jump into his guard. He's like, I don't know. He wanted to stay, especially when they were still dry in that first round. And so anytime you're putting the work on him, you want to be able to keep the momentum going, but he was afraid to in the beginning of going, hey, I'm going to jump into your guard, or I'm going to sit into these positions where you have the advantage. And so that gave him time to recover. And so overall it was, for me, that kind of separated between the two fighters. Dustin was someone that didn't matter what he did on the feet. If he didn't starch him on the feet, he had to jump right in to get in there in that first round. Yeah.
One way to win.
It changes the game. And then putting him on his back, his back foot, making him fight on his back foot, that made him uncomfortable. That makes a lot of fighters uncomfortable. But like with Khabib, when he fought Justin Gaethje, or when Khabib fights other people, he just marches them down. It doesn't matter how good of a stand-up guy you are. He makes you fight on your back foot, and it makes you more tired.
Tell me that Charles didn't learn something from the way Khabib fought. He learned something from him. He said, man, this makes guys fall. This breaks guys. This is something that they have a hard time dealing with. This is what I'm going to do. Because that's what I see out of him now. He's coming out and he's, boom, right out to the center of the cage and just stalking. He's going after his opponent. You look and you go, man, he was never like that before. Not at 145, he didn't do that. He fought completely differently. He's just a new beast right now, man. He looks good.
Is this the Conor effect, though, for Dustin? Like 2 wins over him, a lot of money made. Like, it's like that was more of your peak than winning the title. And that was my concern. We had this conversation a while back of go win the title, then fight Conor. And I understand, like, look, when fighters have the opportunity to make the money, that kind of money, you do it. Okay, but I feel like the peak now of his career will be that he beat Conor. Like, because he didn't have he didn't have the title. And he could have fought for the title already before. I don't know if he would have won it. We're up in the, I think that's why he went with the money fight. But like I was saying, is this the Conor effect? He felt so like on top of the world. I beat Conor, and then I beat him again. I made all this money. Like, is this kind of where he's going to be known for now?
Well, it is what he's going to be, as far as he beat Max and won the interim title. But it's the 2 Conor fights. The first fight was won by Conor, and it was the 2 that he ended up winning that has really made it to where people don't talk about beating Eddie Alvarez. They don't talk about him beating Justin Gaethje. They don't talk about him beating Max Holloway. Who do they talk about him beating? Conor McGregor twice, and so that is that precedence, and that is what, he's, looked at for. The problem is, and this is, we talk all the time about these levels in the game, and Dustin is at the top level. I'm not saying he's not, but when you're concentrating on one type of person and one specific type of style, and then you come back, because look, when you fight Conor, you're not worried about the submission game. You're worried about certain aspects of the stand-up game and things that he does. And so that's what you work on. And so for how long was Dustin Poirier not really concerned or working that ground game? And then he gets into that now title fight against a guy who has got a superior ground game. And not that Dustin is bad on the ground, but he's not of the level of Charles Oliveira. So now we have that, we got danger zones. We got danger zones as far as, man, we cannot be here. And you saw that by when Charles, was able to take him down. When you see a guy put a figure four body, triangle on a guy who is in his guard, holding him there, a guy that wants to be there, what is he telling you? Well, one of two things. I'm really tired, and I'm not sure that Dustin wasn't a little bit tired at the time, but not bad. Or I cannot allow you to pass and get a position on me because I'm worried about the submission. And that's really what I think there was with that. It's like, I'll take this. I'll take the elbows. I'll take the shots. I don't think you can put me out here. And this is better. It's better for me to get elbowed in the dome than it is for me to get in a position where you can submit.
That was one thing. I can't remember who it was. One of the commentators said that he said exactly what you said, was that Dustin felt better holding him in guard than trying to open and get back to his feet, because if he got past, it was going to be a different animal to deal with.
Well, think about what he said prior, because he talked about the Khabib fight, and he talked about, it's better to just lose the round and to hold position instead of trying to get yourself out and up and into a better position against someone like that, because then it's the end of the fight. So he kind of, put his mindset as far as what the way he was looking at this type of scenario, what he was going to do. He wasn't going to take a chance. He wasn't going to turn. He wasn't going to do those things could put him in danger until it became the third round and turned. As soon as that back was open, you saw Oliveira going to it, jumped on top, and the squeeze, and this is where people just don't get it. Everybody has a different squeeze, and it doesn't matter about as far as the size of the person or so much the physical strength. It's the way that the squeeze is applied. Everyone's squeeze is different, but you can see that Oliveira, he's got a squeeze, man. He gets that thing in, and he's done. He ain't getting out of that.
He didn't seem like somebody, when we watched him at 45, that would turn his career around and turn it into what it is now.
No.
There was moments where we had talked a while back, a long, long time ago, when we first started doing the show. I didn't see an end result for him of making this run. And
because think about it, we had talked about him, and we talked about how dangerous he was in the grappling realm, but in the stand-up, guys pushed him around. Guys, they bullied him. They pushed him back to the cage. They made it to where he was off of his back foot and he wasn't able to get the takedowns based upon it. There was a lot of elements. He's changed those things.
I'm trying to figure out how to put, how do I put this? He's not the best wrestler. He's not the best, he's pretty damn good grappler. He's one of the elites, but he is pretty good. His striking is clean and crisp. Defensively, he seems like he's on point. Last night, though, in that first round, he took some big shots. I mean, and I guess I'm going to run back to I'm always been someone who favored hey, if you feel better cutting the weight, cut the weight. But he is definitely 100% better at 155, and not because he's the champ. Not now. I'm if you just look at his progressions of how he doesn't. I haven't seen him go late into the rounds since he's been at 55, but he just seems like his body holds up a lot better at this weight class. The damage he took last night, I don't think he would have been able to take that damage at 45.
agree.